it really turns me off of politics, and I wanted your view on this, man.
That is a very interesting observation and an interesting question. For the record, anybody who follows me or wants to send me a request to respond to something, I fully encourage it. By the way, if it's a blind react, I love those the best. It's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and cut to the crap and talk about this. And this one might take a minute, but if you follow with me, I think I can answer the man's question and show how we get the debates that we deserve on the basis of our expectations of what will sell us. Go back, and I'm talking way back to like the 1880s and the 1890s. At that time, newspaper was king. People would read about whatever the newspaper chose was important, and you really never even got to hear your politician unless you went to see them in person. That newspaper would dictate what you knew about your candidate, what you knew about their policies, and your view of them, depending on your region. Go look up William Randolph Hearst, and that should pretty much fill you in on the way that things rolled. Now, the substance of those debates, whenever they were held, was what are we going to do to promote domestic trade? How are we going to protect our ability to earn money? How are we going to tariff foreign governments to protect our trade? Trade. So everything was really dry, really analytical, a lot of numbers. You get my point. Now, the 1900s roll around, we get the advent of radio. Now, go listen to some of those recordings. I do believe there are some recordings on YouTube that you can find if you want to hear various rhetoric from that time period. And you start to hear the voice, what is very authoritarian, and we know exactly what it is we are saying, and we will take care of things. Yes, we've had a stock market crash. Yes, prohibition is in effect. Yes, we are going to fight crime. We are in control. Substance changed again, 1930s, 1940s, because now we must talk not about domestic trade. We must talk about 2 world wars, about foreign policy, how we've won those wars, and how we're going to take American strength and broadcast it overseas. You get the various tropes that I'm saying, an authoritative voice giving an image, maybe not so much policy, but how are we going to do things outside of our little sphere. Now, that really remained the common theme until 1960, when you got the rise of television. I think I talked about this in one of my previous videos. The Nixon-Kennedy debates. People started to be able to watch television in their own homes. It was a new advent, and the radio was still there. And people who listened to the radio thought that Nixon just shellacked Kennedy because he had better policy. People that saw the televised debates said, dude, Nixon is sweating. He's not interacting. He looks off his game. Kennedy won the debate because this dude's looking better. Maybe he doesn't have the best policy, but dude, look at this guy. How can you not love this? And that was the advent where appearances became more important than what people were saying or even how they said it. And then let's get to the present day. We're going to go all the way from 1960s to the early 2000s when internet became a common thing in households. And I'm going to introduce one other element, the rise of the reality TV show. Somewhere in there, public IQ just dropped off a cliff and they began to watch all these reality TV shows. They're obviously scripted. Obviously, people are doing stupid things because the producers tell them this, that, or the other thing. They get mad. You get my point. And people were like, dude, this is what we expect. This is how people act. Look at it. It's on TV. And one of the kings of this was Barack Obama. I'll give him credit, though he's on the other side of the aisle. The man mixed in just enough of the, I am your president. I am the one who will give you your policy, but then I will drop down here. And, man, did you see what this motherfucker did? I cannot believe that. He knew how to sprinkle just enough to make it interesting. And sadly, that de-evolution of the ability for thought to listen to policy has continued to the present day, where you get to see the debates that you saw, where it becomes almost a little, just like a little bit about policy, and the rest is, oh, they did this, she did this. Oh my, I cannot believe he said that. He's such an idiot. Can you believe he said that? It becomes more about trying to run down the other person on the podium, and less about anything having to do with policy. But in the end, it's a sales job. Individuals are selling themselves. We have come to expect certain things, and they recognize that and have adapted their strategies because they know that's what's going to sway people overall. We get the debates we deserve because we project those expectations, And the problem is only slightly with them because all they're doing is taking what we are expecting, what we're wanting, what will sway our emotions and our opinions, and they're utilizing them. In the end, the problem isn't them, problem's us. One thing you said that I 100% agree with. I'm doing my best to lighten things up a little bit. I'll do a couple political things here and there. I'll do a serious video every once and again. But if you look at the vast majority of my content, man, I'm doing my best to put a smile on people's face, say something stupid, maybe make them giggle. Because in the end, I don't have any direct control over the government, taxation, or anything else. All I have is the ability to make you guys smile. And sometimes piss you off. It happens. Listen to your political figures. Try to sort through the very little actual political content that you get. Demand more from them. Demand more from your fellow man. And try to make people smile every now and again. I'll talk to you next time. We talk about another thing I find interesting. I'm out.